Imagine this. Your phone hasn't buzzed in days. No messages, no calls, no conversations. Not because everyone is busy, because there is nobody to call, nobody expecting to hear from you, nobody waiting for a reply. How long do you think you could last? A week? A month? A year? Most people think they know what loneliness feels like. They imagine sadness, boredom, maybe depression. But according to neuroscience, those aren't the first things loneliness changes. The first thing it changes is how your brain sees the world. For almost all of human history, being alone was dangerous. Humans evolved in tribes, small groups that hunted together, traveled together, and survived together. A person separated from the group faced threats that were almost impossible to survive alone. Predators, injury, starvation, exposure. Your brain remembers that history, even if you don't. Researchers now believe loneliness functions much like hunger or thirst. It is not simply an emotion, it is a biological alarm. A warning signal designed to push you back toward other people. And when that alarm keeps ringing for too long, something remarkable begins to happen. Your brain changes. In the early 2000s, psychologist and neuroscientist John Cacioppo spent decades studying what loneliness does to the human mind. What he discovered challenged almost everything we thought we knew. Lonely people didn't just feel worse, they began seeing the world differently. Brain scans revealed increased activity in regions associated with threat detection. People who experienced chronic loneliness became more sensitive to negative social information. A neutral expression looked hostile. An uncertain situation felt dangerous. A harmless comment sounded like criticism. It's as if the brain quietly shifts into survival mode. And once it does, everything changes. Imagine walking through a forest, convinced there might be a predator behind every tree. You become more alert, more cautious, more suspicious. Loneliness appears to create something similar inside the human mind. The brain begins preparing for danger, even when no danger exists. But the effects don't stop there. Because loneliness doesn't just affect how you think, it affects how you sleep, how you remember, and even how your body functions. Researchers discovered that chronically lonely individuals often experience poorer sleep quality, not because they spend less time in bed, but because their brains remain partially alert throughout the night, almost as if some ancient survival system refuses to fully relax. After all, sleeping alone in the wilderness would have been risky. Someone needed to stay aware. Someone needed to listen for threats. And millions of years later, your brain still behaves as if that danger might be real. Then scientists discovered something even stranger. Loneliness appears to affect the immune system itself. Studies found changes in gene expression among people experiencing chronic isolation. The body begins preparing for injury and infection, as though it expects hardship to arrive. Think about that for a moment. A feeling, a social experience, changing the way your genes behave, changing the way your body prepares for the future. But perhaps the most important discovery came when researchers separated two ideas that most people treat as identical: being alone and feeling lonely, because they are not the same thing. Some people spend weeks alone and feel perfectly content. Others can stand in a crowded room surrounded by friends and still feel profoundly lonely. The brain doesn't respond to physical isolation. It responds to perceived isolation. What matters is not how many people are around you. What matters is whether your brain believes you belong. And that changes everything, because it means loneliness isn't a problem of distance. It's a problem of connection. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived together. They slept together, worked together, ate together, survived together. The modern world gave us something our ancestors never had: the ability to spend entire days without meaningful human contact. And while technology has connected us to more people than ever before, many researchers believe loneliness is rising, which raises a strange question. How can a species that has never been more connected feel so alone? Maybe the answer isn't that we've forgotten how to communicate. Maybe we've forgotten something much older, something our ancestors understood every time they gathered around a fire. That survival was never meant to be a solo activity, and perhaps loneliness isn't your brain malfunctioning. Perhaps it's your brain reminding you what it was built for.